anesthetic. They won't just use all lidocaine. They won't just use all articaine. They usually have some type of a plan based on the procedure that they're doing as to whether or not they use lidocaine or articaine. But what I like to tell offices is if you look at and I'm a pharmacist by education, so I kind of get into all this stuff, but
I love it. Geek
the
out.
neat thing about articaine is it's very lipid soluble. And as a result, it penetrates the lipid membrane very, very quickly. So you get a very rapid onset of anesthesia and a profound anesthetic effect. So if you're thinking about efficiency in your office, a lot of times if you give an injection like a lidocaine, you'll give the injection and then you'll leave the patient and you'll come back and see if they're numb. And if not, you maybe give a little bit more anesthetic and then you leave again. So you think about the time that's involved in doing that. The beautiful thing about Articaine and Orabloc is the fact that you get that rapid onset within 1 to 9 minutes. You can actually almost begin the procedure immediately.
What's going on, everybody? I am John Stamper, and I'm excited to spend a little time today with Deb Laird, who is from Orabloc. Now, why are we doing this? So Dental City, they have really focused this year on highlighting a lot of the great partners that they work with. They know and recognize that for those of you that are Dental City customers, like you're getting phone calls, you're getting promotions, you're seeing all these things about a lot of the great companies that they work with, all in an effort to help you in your dental practice. But one of the things they thought would be important in 2026 and beyond is to actually start to spend some time with these great partners and have them share a little bit about their products, what makes them unique. We all know, I've been in dentistry for 21 plus years. We all know how busy you are inside of a dental practice, and learning about all these companies doesn't always happen. So we're very excited to have Deb with us here today from Orabloc. Deb, how's it going?
Everything's great. I'm here in Florida and we have beautiful weather.
I know Deb and I were just talking, right? Beautiful weather in Florida. Hopefully it's beautiful where you're watching this from, wherever it is. But always a great place to start. All right, Deb. So first off, I'd love to have you share with everybody the work that you do at Orabloc. And then I want to jump into, I think most importantly, why you're so excited about it, some key things in regards to how Dental City works with it, but more importantly, how it can help the dental practice with their patients. That's goal number one.
Great. Well, I'm the product manager. We're a very unique organization in that we're very lean. Our company is based in Italy. We're an Italian pharmaceutical company, and I'm the product manager for the US and Canada. So I pretty much manage the business for all of Pierrel in the northern North America.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Orabloc. I know it's a very well recognized brand. You and I spoke actually at the Chicago Midwinter. It was great to learn a little bit there. But when you think about Orabloc and you think about what dental practices are doing daily with their patients when it comes to how this works, what do you like to share? You know, a dentist says, okay, Deb, give me the high level pitch of, how this is helping dental practices.
Well, I think, first of all, as I mentioned, we're an Italian pharmaceutical company. We are one of only two manufacturers of Articaine that is distributed in the United States. And we're very unique in that we manufacture using an aseptic manufacturing technique. What that means is we actually take all the individual components and sterilize them using sterilization methods that don't involve high heat. Then we bring them together in an aseptic environment. Because of that, our anesthetic is never exposed to high heat. And epinephrine itself is already very unstable, but when you expose it to high heat, it actually degrades even more rapidly. But because our epinephrine is not exposed to the high heat, it is more stable. As a result, we have a longer shelf life, 24 months as compared to 18 months for all the other articaine anesthetics that are on the market in the US. Now, what that means for the dental offices is not only is Orabloc the most cost-effective articaine marketed in the US, this is per SDM data, but Dental City every single month has a very attractive buy get promotion for Orabloc. And the good news is you can now buy in a little bit more product and not have to worry about it expiring. You can save money and you don't have to worry about the product expiring because of the longer shelf life.
Yeah, I love that. So I have to ask you, I mean, this is a product that a lot of practices use. When you bring on a new customer, when you have a practice that starts to work with you all that hasn't in the past, What are some of the things that you hear?
I think the biggest thing I hear is that they're very happy with the anesthetic they're currently using. And in sales, we talk about going in and meeting an unmet need. But frankly, most dental offices are very happy with the Articaine anesthetic that they're using. So sometimes it's kind of challenging to get them to look at the possibility of switching. So what I like to tell them is that Dr. Gordon Christensen, who runs the Clinicians Report, it's an independent dental testing institute, and they did a review of Orabloc. They named it a best product because of the rapid onset of anesthesia, the profound anesthetic effect, and the lower cost. And if you put the prescribing information for Articaine, any Articaine, private label or branded, next to Orabloc, they're exactly the same word for word, with the exception of the longer shelf life and the lower cost.
All right. So, like you mentioned, you have a lot of responsibility, all of North America as the product manager. What is it that you love about this company? When you think about the work that you do, the people that you're serving, things like that, what has it been like for you to be a part of this organization?
Well, I came from pharmaceutical sales, and I've been in the dental industry since we launched Orabloc here in the US. And I think what I like the most is just the dental environment, the relationships that we are able to build with our distributor partners and with the customers. We go to the dental meetings, and it's just amazing how the dentists come up to us at the booth and they want to talk to us, they want to learn more about our product, and they also want to share their experiences. And sometimes they have challenges that they're facing and they want our opinion. So it's really a great partnership.
So, for someone that does not know about Orabloc, what are some ways that you all are getting the word out? I mean, I know that we're talking about what Dental City does on a monthly basis, and so that's super important. But what are some other ways that you have found over the years? Like you mentioned, a lot of practices are using the Articaine anyways. But
Mhm.
what are some other areas that you have learned that where people are finding out about the work that you guys all do and the products that you offer?
Well, as I mentioned, we are unique. I'm the only employee in the US and Canada. We don't have a sales force.
Yeah,
So we really utilize the dental distributors as our sales force.
got it.
So I work very closely with the dental distributors, making sure that the sales representatives know about our product. They talk about it when they go in the dental offices. We do advertising and promotions with our distributor partners. We also do work at the dental meetings, the major dental meetings. We do ads in journals. We do webinars with an organization called Viva Learning.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we're recently doing that I wanted to highlight is we just sent out an email blast to an internal email distribution list that we've been able to generate over our years of work with Orabloc. And it really focused on a very hot topic right now, which is buffering. I think a lot of dental offices are now understanding the benefits of buffering, the faster onset, the more predictable anesthesia effect, and an overall better patient experience. But I think some offices are somewhat reluctant to add buffering to their armamentarium because of the concern about possibly increasing the overall cost of their buffering, of their anesthetic injections by adding in the buffering. So the beautiful thing about Orabloc is, as it is the most cost-effective Articaine, you can use Orabloc, you can add buffering, get an overall great patient experience for your patients, and not increase the overall cost of your anesthetic injections. So that's been one thing that we've really been highlighting with a lot of the advertising that we've been doing lately.
Deb, are there challenges that practices have when it comes to Articaine? Is it one of those things that across the board, most dental practices are using it, some form of it, know how to apply? Is there anything that you've learned or that you could share with a practice, maybe where they're struggling or they've had some issues with?
I think you'll see that very few offices actually will just use one anesthetic. They won't just use all lidocaine. They won't just use all articaine. They usually have some type of a plan based on the procedure that they're doing as to whether or not they use lidocaine or articaine. But what I like to tell offices is if you look at and I'm a pharmacist by education, so I kind of get into all this stuff,
I
but
love it. Geek
the
out.
neat thing about articaine is it's very lipid soluble. And as a result, it penetrates the lipid membrane very, very quickly. So you get a very rapid onset of anesthesia and a profound anesthetic effect. So if you're thinking about efficiency in your office, a lot of times if you give an injection like a lidocaine, you'll give the injection and then you'll leave the patient and you'll come back and see if they're numb. And if not, you maybe give a little bit more anesthetic and then you leave again. So you think about the time that's involved in doing that. The beautiful thing about Articaine and Orabloc is the fact that you get that rapid onset within 1 to 9 minutes. You can actually almost begin the procedure immediately. And again, the profound anesthetic effect, I've had some dentists tell me that they can actually use Orabloc or Articaine in place of a nerve block because their anesthetic effect is so profound. And all Articaines are indicated for nerve block. I will say that some offices are a little concerned about possibly using Articaine in a nerve block because there is some information in the literature that claims that there's a higher incidence of a side effect called paresthesia. It's a prolonged anesthetic effect with Articaine as compared to lidocaine. But I will tell you that there's only been one study that was retrospective that looked at that. It was done by Dr. Stanley Malamed, who has written every anesthetic textbook that's used in the dental dental colleges. And in his study, he found that the incidence of lidocaine or paresthesia with lidocaine was less than 1%, and with Articaine, it was 1%. So his conclusion was there is no difference in the incidence of paresthesia with Articaine versus lidocaine. So you can use Articaine or lidocaine, or Articaine or Orabloc with confidence if you do want to use it for nerve block and not have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very apparent why the Orabloc team has you on board, right? I mean, like with your background as a pharmacist, I think thanks for sharing that. Again, there are a lot of practices that know about it, use it. I get it. But as you know, we have new people that are joining practices all the time, and there's new things that are going on with the company. So glad that you shared that. And then final thoughts, I just wanted to have you share. I'm pretty sure that the Dental City team is where a lot of practices can purchase this. But any other insights on that of where people can learn more about Orabloc if they want to get more information than what you shared today?
Well, I would say that we don't have a sales force and we don't sell direct. So we sell only through dental distributors. So the best point of contact would be your Dental City representative. They all have my contact information, and I'm always open to taking not only their calls, but your calls as a dental office as well. I've even done webinars or Zoom calls with some dental offices that would like to know more about Orabloc. So I'm happy to do either work through your Dental City representative or directly with your office. So start with your Dental City representative and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, Deb, thanks so much. Thanks for your time. I know the Dental City team was really excited to have you share about Orabloc and the partnership that you all have. So I appreciate your time and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thanks, Deb.
Bye-bye.